everyone, I've popped on to do today's Junk Journal July UK prompt. So Junk Journal July is hosted by Lindsey over at the Vintage Button and by Sandra over at Be Happy Stationery. So today's prompt is collage fodder. Today's prompt. Here are the prompts if anyone would like to have a look at them. These are the prompts. We can see at the top here. Junk Journal July UK, hosted by the Vintage Button on YouTube, a collaboration between Facebook group Junk Journal Community Chat Room UK, Be Happy Stationery, design team members and guest designers. So here are all the prompts. We've got up to day 5, which is collage fodder, and I'm going to show you what I use for collage fodder. I actually keep a folder, and I get loads of things that I pop in here. I get loads of things, I mean, I even save bits like this, honestly. I've liked the pattern on this paper, so instead of throw that bit of paper away or put it in my spare bits of paper, I've cut out hearts and circles from it, and I've still kept it and put it in there because I thought the colours would look nice on a collage. So that's collage fodder. Also things like music paper, look at that, tiny bit of paper, but it's great on a collage, why waste it? Little bits of interesting paper like that. I get a lot of mail, and in the mail that I get bits and pieces of paper as extra little gifts. So the extra little gifts that I get, I pop in here in my collage fodder when it's pieces of paper, pieces of patterned paper. Look how beautiful that is. I love that. Absolutely love it. So I have all of this stuff in here to make collages with. Look at these birds. Look at those. So I could make a collaged journal card. I could make a collaged tag. This is even from a collage that I've done. It's from a masterboard, and they're collaged, aren't they? So this is a masterboard that I did. Then I printed it out on this linen paper, and it is absolutely lovely. I love the texture of that paper. So I kept that bit because I thought, well, I could make that into a tag or something, couldn't I? Love it. So I kept that. I have some mirror cards, some tissue paper, love that. So I thought what we could do is we could get my collage fodder and make a collage with it. We'll make a tag, I think, today to go in the journal. So I thought I would make a background, and then we'll use something actually from the kit as the focal point. So let me get myself a tag out. I got this, there must have been double the amount that I've got in here now of these tags, and I got them from a charity shop. A massive bag full of just plain tags like that. So I'm using those up. They're really lovely and thick, they are. They're really brilliant for anything. Another thing I use for my collages and collage fodder is little bits on my desk. Look at all these bits that are on my desk at the minute. I've got a bit of music paper, I've got a bit of brown paper there, I've got a pretty little flower that would go nice in my herbology journal. I've got these little bees that I thought, well, I'm not throwing them away, there's nothing wrong with them. I've got that little thing that I cut off something else I was doing, and I thought, well, it's too pretty to throw away. I've got a little bee that I drew. I've got a little robot sticker. I've got something in mind for him though, so I'm not going to use him. This is a book I got on Temu, and it says it smells of grass, but it says grass fragrance. It's not grass fragrance. Feel the temperature of the paper passing through your fingers. No, I think it's a load of tosh, if I'm honest. But the pictures I love, and they would look lovely in the herbology journal. And I think this page in particular would be good. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use some of this. And let's see what else I've got in here. Remember, I'm sticking to neutral neutrally colours and neutral tones. That's quite neutral, isn't it? The thing is, you can get your stuff out and then it, you know, lay it out, and if you don't use it all, it doesn't matter. But yeah, this is my collage fodder. I've always got a big thing full of stuff to put in my collage. I think we could just have a bit of that. What else? Yeah, book pages, all sorts, honestly. Look at this. I've cut some of the things out of here. I've cut some of the pieces from this page. It's a robin, a deer and a bunny on this page. And I've cut some of the little robins out and used them for something and not used the rest. And that, I mean, that make great collage fodder. I think maybe around Christmas time. I've got this really pretty pink paper. This will be for something I've cut out, a printable that I've cut out and not used all of it. And I just thought it was really pretty, the colours and things in it. So I may put some of that in my thing as well. I honestly, and as I've said, I do get a lot of things gifted to me. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. That is beautiful. I love that. And that's a card, look. That was a card I got in a trade. And those butterflies are beautiful. I'm definitely using some of those. I love anything with glitter on it. Look at that dog. I love the dog. I'm a bit of a dog lover. So there's bits that are good for ATC cards. Peace on Earth, look. That's a Christmassy one. Christmas will be here before we know it. You know that, don't you? It's annoying, I know, but it's always Christmas. Always seems to be Christmas. So I've got some really nice bits on there. That's from a circus themed thing I did. These will be from Christmas themed things I've done, and there'll be bits that people often stick like a bundle like that in with their ATC cards, and it's nice to have, you know, some different papers to the ones you're used to using. So yeah, I love when they do that, and I keep them all and use them to make a collage with. So let's make a collage with our collage fodder. I'm going to just use a bit of this. I'm just going to cut a bit of that off, because I actually am thinking what I could do is cover the back of I'll cover the back of my card in that paper. This is something, I got something wrapped in this. Look at that, love those. I must cut one of those off, because that would look really good in the herbology journal, wouldn't it? A dragonfly. Yeah, you can see that something's been gifted to me and it's been wrapped in that. And I've saved honestly, I save everything, I do. And when somebody sends me a gift, I make myself a journal card to go in my journal out of the wrapping paper, the stickers. I'll put a photograph of any cards they sent me on it. I'll often use the wrapping. I got a doll in the because I collect dolls as well. I got a doll a few weeks ago from my lovely friend Gaynor, and I used the packaging from the doll as the base for my journal card. It came out really well, actually, that did. I was so pleased with it, and I wrote on the back of it all about, you know, how I'd got this lovely doll from Gaynor and an outfit as well. It really was really nice of her, and yeah, I love that. I love having that to look at, and it reminds me of how lucky I am to have such lovely friends. So yeah, so I've got my little, that's going to be one of the main things. This as well, we can still save that, can't we? It can still be collage fodder. It can go back in there now. So I've covered that side with that, and that's to write on. So on this side, I'm going to do little bits. Let me get me glue bit. Where's my bit of... I have one of these and I can wipe it and reuse it. So that is what I... Look at that, I've got a sticker on there, look, that I've saved. I've even got one of a penguin down here, so... So now what I'm going to do is tear up little bits, because I like the torn edge look rather than the plain, you know, the straight edge. I like a torn edge. And I'm going to just glue them onto my thing, and they're going to be the background, and they're going to be neutral. They're going to, you know, going to have neutral background. That's what I'm planning. There we go. Really pleased with that. I like that just as it is, actually. I won't be worried about putting anything on it, but I am going to put things on it because I've got things ready to go on it. I'm going to put my dragonfly on it. I'm going to have a look through the Hale Herbology kit and find something from there to put on it. Okay, so I found a few little bits out of my stash of things I've got to make my journal. I've got this big butterfly, love that, so that's going on, and then these little bees were from something else I'd been using and they were left over. I like that really well. It's a stamp, and I'm going to glue that onto there as well, and then I'm going to write something on here. I don't know what though, but actually might use that as a little tuck. So I'm just going to put glue on each edge of it, like this. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the glue like that, and then that can go and be tucked behind there, can't it? That would be good. Yeah, I like that. And then we can put the butterfly, these are going on as well. Put the butterfly a little bit higher up. People say to me, why do you put your butterflies upside down? And I think, well, when a butterfly's flying, it doesn't fly. It flies like that when it's leaving. When it's coming to land, it flies like that, doesn't it? That I don't know, am I wrong? Or I don't suppose anybody's wrong. It's just how I do it, so that's how I do it anyway. So my butterfly is going on there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do as well. I really love this butterfly, and I want it to stand out a little bit more, so I'm going to put a few little bits of gold on it, I think. I have got a gold pen, she says confidently. I have, yeah, and I've got a white pen that I can put some white dots on as well when I find the right one. Here we go. Use those, and then I've got a black pen. Where's my black pen pencil case gone? To draw the butterfly some antennae with, because I always cut them off because they're too fiddly to cut out, I think, and when you do, you know, I don't like cutting them out and leaving that big thing in the middle. So let's draw the butterfly some antennae. Just a couple of little lines like that is all you need. And this is really good. They're really good pens that don't run once you've drawn with them. You can rub over it and it won't smudge. So that's that bit, and then I'm going to glue my other bits on. I don't know what I've shut that up for. So I'll have that. So I've used bits of all sorts to make this collage from a collage fodder. I really hope that this has helped someone. I really hope that you've got some inspiration from it, and I hope you'll go off and make a collage yourself and see what you've got for collage fodder. Like I say, to actually make the tags, I've got a bag full of card that I've got from my card recycling thing, and it's from food packaging, you know, dry food packaging. For instance, if I buy a pack of 6 cans, the card on that is great and really strong, so I save that, and I'll then use it and cut myself some tags out, so that I've got all the time a bag full of tags I can use. So yeah, that's what I'll do with that. And then I think my little bee as well needs to go on there, doesn't it? I need to use the little thing that I drew, so I'm going to put him. I think I need something in this top corner, so he's going to go up there. Yeah, I'm not very good at drawing, but I'm confident that it looks all right on there. I'm confident at it, but I'm just not very good at it, you know. It doesn't bother me. You know, I'm sort of jack of all trades, master of none. But there we go. And if I wanted to, I could colour him in, couldn't I? Should we give him a bit of colour? There we go, that's that. That's cute, pleased with that. And then I think I'm going to do the body of this butterfly black so that it stands out a bit more. We'll give it a black body. That's better, Mr. Butterfly, or Mrs. Butterfly. I always think of butterflies as female, I don't know why, because there must be both, mustn't there? And then I wanted to put some gold on it because I thought it needed a bit of, everything needs a bit of glitter in my opinion. So that's what it's getting, a little bit of glitter. And a bit up here. Don't worry if it's not perfect, because the trouble is when you're doing art, you yourself see every mistake, but other people, they don't see it like that. They only see the end product, and if it's not perfect, to be honest, they don't care. It's junk journaling. It doesn't matter if it's not absolutely perfect. There we go. I think that'll do. I might just do a little bit, few spots on that bit there, because there's quite a big bit, isn't there? And that one there. There we go. And then I'm going to do a few gold splatters around it. I'm still trying to think of a word to put on there. Doesn't matter, I don't have to do it today, do I? I can think of it, and then when I think of one, I'll just pop it on there. And then I was going to do a bit of white as well. Yeah, you can add colour to it, and you can make it match your project. So I had white splatters on the butterfly thing that I did, so I'm doing a few white splatters on here as well, because I think then it will match in better. The colours match really well. There are some pieces here that are from the Herbology kit, so that's really good. I'm pleased about that. Yeah, you don't have to do your splatters like this. You don't have to do splatters at all. You could get some acrylic paint and just water it down a little bit and splatter that on. I've got some glittery paint that I use, and you know, tap that out as well sometimes. But anyway, that is my finished collage for the prompt collage fodder. You saw that I used my collage fodder envelope, and I didn't even use one of those butterflies, which are beautiful, but I didn't feel I needed it, so we haven't got that on. And all these little bits are going to go back into my collage fodder envelope, and I'll use them again another day. I didn't even use my flower, look. I thought the flower was a bit the wrong colour really for that particular piece. So back into my collage fodder envelope they go, and I can use them again another day. So now what I need to do is get out my lovely journal. You know, I'm so thrilled with that. I think it came out really nicely. And find somewhere to put it. So I really need a pocket, don't I, to put it in, and I haven't got a pocket yet. So I might just pop it on the front there, and then when I get a pocket I can pop it in. That bit there's sticking out, isn't it? I'm going to have to cut that off because it's annoying me. It's annoying me, Cass. She's laid down here fast asleep, bless her. Yeah, it can go into a pocket once I've made one, but I'm so chuffed with that. Let's take a photograph of it. I hope you enjoyed that and got some inspiration from it. Do have a look in my description box for the links to other channels that are joining in this collaboration. and come back tomorrow for tomorrow's prompt, which is fold out, and that is, I'm actually hosting that one, that actual prompt, the fold out. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that and got some inspiration from it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.